Now let's start the lab about circuit breaker to block a fault propagation. We're gonna use this model and it already has a line which is involving a circuit breaker option, and this is on the instruction here, so we can skip this part until here. And then we'll just get straight into the code generation. We must fork this model and go to code generation and access to the Gitpod IDE. So I'll create a repository. The process is running now, and when it gets done, you can access to the Gitpod system. It's done, so let's open Gitpod. So when the Gitpod starts running, it is installing a Kafka system to run the Spring service for each microservices. You can ignore all these notifications and welcome pages. Now Kafka and Zookeeper is pulling their downloading files. It takes a little time, but not that long, so we'll just wait for it to get done. Now the Kafka server is running on port number 9092. Now let's take a look at the codes. I'll go to the file name order.java and take a look at the pre-persist part. This part is an action occurring before the order is being saved to our repository. So we should modify this code a bit. When you go to the lab, here is the modifying code here. So I'll copy this and replace this pre-persist part. There are some problems, so let's fix it by importing them. These both are in labshop popsup.external, which is over here, inventory service. And then we'll move on to find client, which is on inventory service. So I'll open this component as well. And this code here is already pasted in by this part on the lab, so you can check it out. And then when you take a look at the lab, our next step is a call before setting a circuit breaker. So is that a call before a circuit breaker? So we should take a little modification on application.yml file. We should change it into false for find option. And also we need to change the URL for API. It says inventory colon 8082, but we cannot find inventory at order, so we'll change it into localhost, and it's done. Next, we should install a HTTP tool. So the command is pip install HTTP. Okay, installation is done, and then we should run both order and inventory service. So let's open a terminal from order service and inventory. There are two terminals opened, and let's run the Spring service by putting in maven clean spring boot run. I'll copy this command because I should use this again on here. So paste it here and run it again. It takes a little time, so we'll just wait a bit. Now both of the port number 8081 and 8082 is up. So our server is up now. We'll take a look at the next step. Put in enough amount of stock for inventory. So this is a command to put in a 10,000 stock inside inventory service. So I'll copy this one and paste it. Now the stock has a 10,000 amount of them. And then our next step is to make an order of 2 concurrent users for 10 seconds by using a siege tool. And before this one, we have to install a siege tool by this. So I'll just copy the second line of this command and then paste it. The installation is being in process. Now it's done. So I'll just clear this terminal and copy this command, which means 2 concurrent users for 10 seconds, and giving the order in post method. So I'll just copy this command and paste it and then run it. So we made a siege call for 2 concurrent users for 10 seconds, and all the process is done well. And as you see, every call has been done for about 0.1 seconds and is available for 100%. And our next step is to set the circuit breaker. So we have done the actual test to call the all successful orders, and next we have to set the circuit breaker. So set the options we changed before into true again, and maybe I should change the timeout seconds into maybe 100 seconds, and then the option for the order file is changed, so I'll kill this server and run it again. So when this error happens, when we use a test, when we test this again with Siege tool, I think there would be 201 and 500 codes repeating. So let's check it out. Order server is up now, and let's clear this terminal and make another siege test. As you can see, there are some errors, not like before. Here are some 500 code errors made by the delays coming from circuit breaker option. And let's make a fallback. Make an order while the inventory service is stopped to make 500 error. So I'll stop this server and make an order. So when I put in this command, this internal server error came out, and if we check the log here, there is a Java connect exception because our inventory server is not up, so the order service cannot be connected to this inventory, so the order is not happening. So I'll copy this one and give a fallback option at inventory service.java file. I think it should be going into this one. And we need to create this class called inventory service fallback. So I'll create it. And I'll just copy this and paste it here. And then I'll kill the order service and then run it again. And remember, this inventory service is stopped now, and we can notice that the get inventory method, this one, is executed to return a suitable fake value of 1 to return it to something that has stock. So when I make another order, if this service goes up, as you see, this order process is done, not like before, and there are no errors here. Maybe I should try with some more quantities, maybe like 10, and then error comes out. So when I made an order with quantity of 1, the order service was running well, but when I changed it to 10, error came out. Because at the lab we said method getInventory is returning a suitable fake value of 1 to return it to something that has stock. Something that has stock means inventory, and we are returning a fake value of 1. That's why we can make an order by making a fallback option over here. But if the quantity gets over 1, it also makes an error, and there is an error log coming from here. The same thing, runtime exception, out of stock. So with this fallback option, we are making a fake value of 1, and we made an order of 10, so the message comes out of stock, which we made in here. If the inventory stock is more than the quantity of order, the message out of stock comes out in the log. And so this was how we used circuit breaker and fallback options on our request and response system made by order and inventory service. So this is it, and thank you for watching.